Hi everyone, Secret Agent Jade here out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and this is going to be the first in a series of videos that I'm doing as a part of a 90-day run that we're doing here at Secret Direct. And so I guess if I had to choose the first video, we always tell people in network marketing to start with your why, so I guess this is going to be my why. I think that I always really had an entrepreneurial spirit, or a little bit of a desire to have that. Both sets of my grandparents, both maternal and paternal grandparents, were entrepreneurs. My mom's parents owned a logging company, and it was a really successful company in my town. He employed a lot of people over the years. You know, a lot of my friends' dads worked for my grandpa. And my dad's parents, my dad's dad was a pharmacist, and they actually owned and ran the town pharmacy. And, you know, they had everything from cosmetics to diapers and, you know, just kind of a little one-stop convenience store in town. And I think I always really understood the significance of that. Like, I always really kind of felt like my grandparents were significant in that town. There was a lot of people that received paychecks over there over the time, or a lot of people that went to my grandfather or phoned him in the night because they had a child with an ear infection and he would go down and open his store and get drops or whatever. And I really did. I felt like, you know what, I felt like people felt like they were significant people, and I think I admired that. And my mom eventually, the year that I turned 12, my mom actually invested in her own business. She bought a restaurant and a catering service, and she has been doing that for 25 years now. This year marks 25 for her. And you know what? It's really successful. You know, there's a lot of people in the north that, you know, when they hear my little small town in Saskatchewan's name, they go, hey, you know, there's a really good restaurant there. And I'm like, oh, that's my mom's. You know, I was really proud. Again, makes her, you know what I do? I feel like she's significant. She's fed a lot of people over the years, and she's cut a lot of paychecks over the years. And that really does feel good for me. But one of the things that I really noticed is that, you know, to own a small business is not residual income. Like, it really isn't. My mom's trading more time for money than any one of her staff members, and most of them make minimum wage as waitresses. She's been working for 25 years, and I've still seen her. I know for sure this year, this summer alone, she's put in many 14, 15-hour days. She's got a side catering business. She's got the full-time restaurant. She has staffing issues. People get sick. Like, you know, she is now, you know, in her late 50s, and she is working really hard still. And when she finally does get to retire, it's going to be, you know, like, sell that restaurant and take whatever money I have invested in that, and then she's done. There's still not going to be any residual income. You know, she's not in a position to franchise out. She's not in a position to collect a paycheck and just not work. So I kind of always, I wrestled with that, right? I wrestled with the idea of being an entrepreneur because I saw how much work it was. And it's not that I'm lazy, it's just that it's a lot of work. So my personal story is I actually, I had my oldest son when I was really young. I was actually still in high school. And so instantly at 17 years old, I was, you know, baby in hand, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to be the one to care for this? And I didn't want to be that person that was always going to be leaning on her parents, even though they were wonderful and supportive. So I decided to become a school teacher. I thought, you know what, it was a real sure thing. It was a good job for a woman, which I realize is really small-minded of me, but that was my 17-year-old mindset at the time. I could do it anywhere, you know. I knew that my primary relationship probably wasn't going to be super solid forever. So it was kind of like, you know, I didn't know where the world was going to take me. I really didn't. So I thought that was a good job, a good thing that I could do. I do love children. I love kids. I love helping people. I love education. I love learning. So it was a good fit for me. So that is what I did. But all the while, I kind of dabbled a few times, right? I dabbled in a couple little side businesses. You know, one was kind of a home decor, you know, candles and things like that. But trendy, fatty, you know, one of those things that was just going to probably wane, probably, you know, they would have to really work to kind of stay fresh and stay new. But I just thought, you know what, to make some extra money as a young person, that would be okay. And I really didn't do very good at it. I didn't study at it. You know, obviously my 19 and 20-year-old friends weren't buying $300 ornamental pieces for their home. So that really didn't go very well, and then I kind of continued to teach, and I sold a little skincare line for a little while, and I wasn't really good at collecting and making sure that I was kind of giving all my friends and family discounts because I didn't really know how to, like, say that my time was worth anything. And then at one point, actually, I decided to take some time off teaching because I had a couple more children with my husband, and I was at home for a while, and I needed to lose a little weight, so I got involved in a weight loss company. And that one actually really did teach me a lot. I learned a lot from them. Kind of got a little bit more of the vision of what the power of network marketing and that power of duplication and what that can actually look like. But weight loss was kind of a hard gig, just because, you really need to have those results before you can ever even really discuss business, right? So you're waiting 30 to 60 days before you're ever even really being able to enter that whole conversation about business. And one of the other things with it is if it works, many times they'll go off of it because it worked and they're done and I'm fit and I'm lean and I've, changed my lifestyle. And if it doesn't work, they go off of it. So it's really, really, really cyclical. It's a tough big gig to kind of keep customer retention. So, after, spending some time doing that and really just, kind of enjoying the fact that I was getting some free products and okay with it, I decided to go back to teaching. And when Secret fell into my lap, I wasn't looking for anything. I actually was kind of excited to be back teaching. I do love teaching. I work at a great school with a great staff. I have great students. But my girlfriend just phoned me really, really excited about something. And it's that whole idea, I'm a people person. And she was just so excited and contagious that I can't let her do this without me. Like if nothing else, it's going to be fun. Kind of set myself that goal, pay for one vacation and, make some cash. And you know what? It's really transformed me. The vision that I have now, that idea that, I can actually work and spend my time now part-time working on my fortune while still working on my job. And I only teach part-time because of the business. So I have a little bit of work-life balance, which is fantastic. I beat my kids home from school because I only teach part-time. And when they walk in the door, I'm at the island on my computer, answering a few calls. I'm helping out my team, checking on my PCs, booking some spa parties. But it is a real casual part-time thing. We just got home from 2.5 weeks boating and camping at the lake, and I came home and there was paychecks there. I had residual income, and I had 15 days off, 2 paychecks in 2 weeks. And I actually spent the time boating and, drinking beer by a campfire with my husband. And I thought, this is it. This is it. And you know what? If you get into this business and you give it your honest time, you be honest about the amount of time that you have for it. We got girls on our team that are going 8 hours a day. They're going for it. And I love watching them do it. And there's days that I do it. Last few days I've been super contagious and super fired up. We've had some great mentors and speakers come lately that just have me really getting it. But you know what? There's other girls that are, they really want some free product and they want to make $500 a month, or they want to get to that part where they get that car allowance because they want to help their husband get a better car to drive to work. Or, they just want to be able to have enough so they don't have to go back to work and pay out exorbitant amount of money for their child care. You go back to work to pay somebody else to raise your children. $500,000 a month can change a family's life. They can change a family's situation, and I've learned that. And so you know what? I think that I'm on the road to kind of leading that life of significance that my grandparents and that my mom have led. I'm gonna help some people do some really great things and help them just make their lives, quality of life better. Really, it's all about quality of life. I'm getting myself some residual income, some financial freedom. Supplement that teaching pension someday. I can guarantee you this one's probably going to pay me more than that teaching pension someday. And the thing that I'm loving most is just how I'm growing as a person. So I get asked all the time, what's a smart girl like you, with a good job and a great husband and you guys have a nice home? What are you doing, network marketing. And it's like, you know what? It might not be perfect, but Eric Worre says it best. It really is a better way. And, I get to work, part-time on my job and part-time on my kids and the sports and the community and part-time on my fortune. So hope some of that hit home with you. Thanks for tuning in. There's going to be a new video every single day, so watch for the next one. I'm going to cover all kinds of things about my individual company, but what I've learned in the business. Hope you get some tips, hope you get some value, and have a really great night. Thanks.